Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Storm. Always delighted to be joined by Sam Jones. Sam, I appreciate you giving us some of your time today. First off, how's things?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good, mate. How's you, mate?
Yeah, I can't complain. It's a nice day over here. I don't know what it's like in Derby, but it's red hot in Huddersfield.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice day here, mate. Very nice day. Can't complain about the weather.
Right. Before we talk about fights that have been made, I want to touch on Jack Catterall first, actually, this time round. Just seen online, it says that Eddie Hearn has made an offer to Devin Haney for the Regis Prograis fight. Can I get your thoughts on that? Because I thought the whole idea was that with Jack going to Matchroom, that we'd be trying to get him the world title shot ASAP. Yeah. Kind of thing. Can you just get your thoughts after Jack?
Listen, I kind of knew this would be the case, because the Zone probably want an all-American kind of fight because they've just lost Canelo Alvarez and they need to do. I understand it, but for Devin Haney, he's probably looking at it thinking, and I think it's unfair, to be honest, because Regis is being judged on one bad performance. You know what I mean? Oh, it's an easy fight. It's not an easy fight, but that fight's not sexy, mate. Devin Haney needs to go and fight Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight we all want to see. We don't want to see Devin Haney fight Regis Prograis. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased to Jack. Well, I am biased to Jack, but I think I speak on behalf of boxing. We'd much prefer to see Devin Haney against Shakur for Undisputed, or rematch against Lomachenko in a fight that I believe he lost and many others did as well. So it is what it is, mate. You can ask to take Kim Kardashian on a date, but it doesn't mean you're going to get the date, does it? So Eddie can make an offer to Devin Haney, and it's it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
If Jack can't get a world title shot next, what is he going to do? Is for him, because he's had that length of time out the ring. Obviously, he's got his feet wet again. Now he's back now, kind of.
I can't speak right now because I don't want to be that guy where I say, "Oh, these are the options," and those options don't happen as well. But we've got some very good alternatives as well.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because I'm sure
that's the fight we want, mate. That's the fight Jack wants to fight. Jamie Moore wants to fight. I want. It's the fight we all want, and I think it's the fight that makes sense. I don't want to keep going round in circles, but Jack should already have all of those belts anyway. Regis knows that. And the one thing about Regis Prograis is, and I'll give him his props, he will fight anybody. So I know when they'll come to him and say, "You're fighting Jack next," he'll be like, "No problem, let's go," because he's proper that way. And the same as Jack. You don't have to ask Jack twice, but he wants to fight. The fight makes perfect sense. Let's get it fucking made, mate.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. And Haney and Shakur obviously going back and forth about percentages, but ultimately I think that's something that probably can get ironed out. So get that fight made, get Regis and Jack on, and then winners fight each other. If
Devin Haney goes and fights Prograis, I don't personally think that'll do his profile any good, because people will see it as not a duck, but you're just trying to keep away from Shakur Stevenson as far away as possible. That's just my opinion.
You know, right. Let's move on to Joshua Whyte. Rematch has been made 7 or 8 years after the first one.
Yeah,
I see a lot online. I think it's because now, obviously, because I'm involved in the sport, I'm sort of numb to it. But you see a lot of criticism, and I think in terms of the heavyweight fight that could be made, it's a big one, isn't it?
The biggest one out there, mate. It's the biggest one out there. This is what I mean, mate. You got a lot of people that, as I say, have this agenda, have agendas. Like, do you see me, man? People say, "Oh, so look, so do you?" Like, mate, I'll say, listen, if Frank Warren puts a good show, Joyce, Zhang, amazing fight. Their schedule is fantastic. Dubois Usyk's a good fight. It's not amazing, but it's a solid fight. Do you know what I mean? It's a solid fight. McCann against Baluta, brilliant fight, mate. Davis against Cunningham, mate. Sizzling start to the year. Matchroom are planning. I know they're planning Wood Warrington. They've got Joshua Whyte now, which is the biggest fight of the year. No one can deny that. They've got many other big Taylor Cameron rematch. Mate, I say it as it is. But when people say agenda things because they don't like certain promoters, mate, stop talking bollocks, saying that, oh, I mean, listen, I will say it. Listen, I like Joe Gallagher, brilliant coach. But when he says, oh, AJ and Whyte, they're holding up the heavyweight, bro, it's a non-title fight. How can it be holding up the division? Do you know what I mean? How can it be holding up the division? It's a non-title fight. They're minding their business. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But don't say like daft things where it's holding up the division. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
In terms of Joshua, because he's gone to this new trainer, doesn't this make perfect sense for him in a way? Because he's had that one fight against Franklin, and now he can...
Mate, 100%. Joshua could have gone in there, fight a dud. No disrespect, so I won't call him a dud, but they could have fought Catterall. It's underwhelming. It's underwhelming. But so Joshua's gone, and I know this for a fact, right? I know this for a fact. He said this. Get me Dillian Whyte. That's what Joshua said. Mate, respect the guy. Mate, you got to give him respect. Everyone's like, oh, Sam's. People need to make their mind up as well, because I get, oh, Sam's a suck up to Tyson Fury. Sam's a suck up to AJ. Oh, Sam hates Tyson Fury. Sam, mate, piss off. I say it as it is. I don't want to see against, well, I don't care about Tyson Fury against Ngannou, but if they're getting loads of money, fantastic, brilliant. I don't care about that fight because it means nothing. I'm not excited to watch that fight. It's a mismatch. The Dubois-Usyk fight. Good fight. I think it's a mismatch, but it's a good fight. Fair play to Dubois. Good luck. AJ against Dillian Whyte, yeah, is the best heavyweight fight scheduled today, closely followed by Joyce and Zhang. That's just a fact, mate. For public, and you'll see that with the ticket sales, mate. It's just a fact. People need to just say, I have no agendas, mate. Believe me, I swear, I have no agendas to anything. If something's good, I'll say it's good. If something's shit, I'll say it's shit. AJ against Dillian Whyte is a bigger fight than the first one because both of their careers are on the line. They've both got a few more miles on the clock. They've both suffered defeats since then. This is must win for both. They both can't stand each other. You can't get any bit two Londoners having a scrap at the O2 Arena, a full O2 Arena. You tell me about any other arenas that are full nowadays. It's so difficult, mate. The market's tough. Nobody's got any money, but people will scrape their money together to go to a fight like that because it's massive. So you need to respect Anthony Joshua for things like this because British boxing would have been long fucked if it wasn't for him. That's just a fact. And if anyone's got anyone disagrees, that's fine. But I personally believe what I'm saying here is a certain fact. And anyone thinks I'm a blowjob for anyone as well, they can get fucked as well.
Well, just testament to that point, Eddie Hearn's tweeted about 30 minutes ago saying it's the fastest ever O2 pre-sale today.
Yeah, but I don't understand why people can be surprised by that. Mate, it's a great fight. It's a great fight.
The actual fight itself, though, what do you think happens? Why they're obviously both coming off the Franklin, the Jermell and Franklin situation fight. What do you see happening in the fight?
It's a hard one, mate, because I mean, one thing's for certain, right? They both have to perform better than what they've done in their previous fights. They both have to perform better. If Anthony Joshua performs to the best of his ability and Dillian Whyte performs to the best of his, I give Anthony Joshua the edge. I do, right? But I respect Dillian Whyte. I like Dillian Whyte. He always brings entertainment. He always comes to fight. Underwhelming against Franklin, but so was AJ. This is a must-win for both men. I cannot wait to watch that fight, mate, because it means a lot. And let me tell you something now. AJ's got, what is it, 60 million on the table against, or whatever it is, against Deontay Wilder. And he's putting it on the line against Dillian Whyte when he could have boxed fucking Caballero. Mate, you have to give him respect. Dillian Whyte, he's in a position where, mate, he's got to take a fight like this because no one else is paying him that type of money. But credit to Dillian Whyte because I know he's a fighting guy. He'll fight anyway. But respect Anthony Joshua for what he's done and what he's continuing to bring to British boxing. And it's not an agenda. I told you, wasn't good enough against Usyk twice. Underwhelming against Franklin. But no one can argue with Anthony Joshua's resume. Nobody. So you have to put some respect on that guy's name.
Absolutely. Talk about Joyce Zhang, the rematch. And obviously, you know how close you were to Joe. It wasn't good enough the first time round. Why this time can Joe get the victory? What does he have to do differently?
Move his fucking head for one. Listen, Big Joe, right? I'm telling you this as a fact. I overlooked Zhang. That's just because I just thought I think Joe overlooked him. I think everyone overlooked him. I thought they were looking at, Tyson Fury next, AJ next. Never mind what comes next now. This is everything for Big Joe. He needs to be a stone heavier in weight. He needs elite sparring. He needs to get Jalolov into sparring. Elite southpaw, 20-stone lump. Yeah. That's what Joe Joyce needs in this camp, right? And he needs to be, as I say, firing on all cylinders. Because if he's not, you get beat again. But the best Joe Joyce beat Zhang, and I would put my house on that as well. So I'm predicting my big mate will go and get his revenge.
It's going to be an absolute cracking rematch, especially after the first
Great
one.
rematch.
You know, Joe was still smiling even after it got stopped and wanting to continue as well. And it says a lot about him. He's got one of the strangest sort of, I don't know.
Believe me, Joe was hurting after that fight. That's the way that, believe me, Joe was hurting after that fight. He was hurting after that fight. You have to remember, Joe's done everything asked of him. Beat Dubois, everyone thought Dubois was going to chin him. Parker, 50-55, and all these fights. Joe deserves a world heavyweight title shot. And he gave Zhang a voluntary. You understand? There's not many people doing that. So you need to respect Joe Joyce as well. Give him his props. And he's going straight back in there when he could have let Tyson Fury batter him and then fight Tyson afterwards. He could have done things the chicken way. Do you understand what I mean? And he never did. He wants to go there and get his honour back.
Yeah, it's going to be a terrific fight. I can't wait to see it. It was one of them things sitting ringside. I think everyone underestimated Zhilei Zhang a little bit, but
mate, I cringed watching that whole thing, mate. And after the first 2 minutes, I was like, "Oh, mate, what the fuck is going on here?" And he was just like he wasn't with it at all. Joe. That's the worst I've ever seen Joe fight or spar in the whole many years I've known him. So, listen, Big Joe just needs to get a few things right in his camp, make sure everything's in order, make sure he's getting the elite sparring that he needs. His weight needs to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I predict Joe will get his belt back.
Just quickly, just before we go, I think last time you were on, we spoke about Spence Crawford, but since then, PBC have announced Canelo Jermell Charlo, not Jamal, stepping up in weight. It's Jermell. It's another big fight. PBC are seeming to sort of just.
They've had a great start to the year, mate. They've had a cracking start to the year, which is what we want to see, mate. We're boxing. I'm boxing fan, aren't I? So, mate, of course, mate. I'm looking forward to all these fights. I personally didn't. It's not that I'm not really excited by the fight because I'll watch it. I love the fight. It's a great fight. But I wanted to see him fight Benavidez, and hopefully that's next if Canelo gets through. But listen, Canelo could get beat to Charlo, by the way. That's not a foregone conclusion anyway. I'm not saying he will, before you dickheads say, oh, what is he talking about? I'm saying he could. He could lose, yeah? Because Canelo is slightly on the old dip, in my opinion. So I think that Canelo should box Benavidez. That's the fight we all want to see. Two Mexicans having a terror, probably on Cinco de Mayo in May next year, which will be absolutely fantastic.
I think because he's got 3 fights with the PBC, they must be pushing hard for that fight because, like you say, 2 Mexicans. Everyone sort of Benavidez is the bogeyman really coming through, and Canelo pound for pound.
100%, mate. 100%.
Mega fight if that happens.
Mega fight, mate. Mega fight.
Just before we go, how pleased are you with your signings? I know you've been sort of adding a plethora of talent to your stable on top of your likes of your Jack Catterall, Owen Rees, Ben Rees, Andrew Manning. How pleased were you your group of guys that you're putting together at the minute? You must be delighted.
Yeah, Mark Dickinson, I've got Khalil Majid, I've got Mohamed Ali that's fighting us. Mate, I've got a really, really good crop of young fighters, as I say. You've got Jack leading the way there, who's more at the elite level, the world-class level. And you've got Mark Dickinson, who's going to be chasing titles very soon. He's got a good fight coming up. Mate, I've got a fantastic crop of fighters. Cameron Vaughn, Dan Howard, mate. These two, by the way, Dan Howard and Cameron Vaughn, mate, unbelievable kids. So I cannot wait to see what they're going to produce. But mate, I'm excited, mate. I'm very, very excited. And I'm very blessed that these kind of fighters want to sign with me. I'm very, very blessed. But I'm clearly doing something right.
Yeah, I remember speaking to you before, and you said, "Look, there's some big things coming. There's going to be some things happening." And ever since then, it's just been bang, new signing one after the other. So you must be.
Yeah, mate, 100%. We've been working very hard behind the scenes. So yeah.
Well, look, Sam, I appreciate your time as always. Thanks for taking time out of your day to speak to Boxing Social, and fingers crossed we can have another catch up, ideally in person, sometime soon.